Hey guys, what's up? It's Deniz from Deniz World of Bodybuilding. I want to make a video about the Arnold Classic 2019. Don't worry, it won't be the last video on this Arnold's. I'll do many more. I have to do many more to wrap up all the information and all the stuff and everything that goes into the contest. It's one of the two major shows of the year in the sport of professional bodybuilding, the whole bodybuilding industry. The Arnold Classic, a contest with tradition, with class, and with a focus on aesthetics. You really have to say it like that. It seems like the Arnold Classic was a trigger point for the Olympia 2, speaking about the direction to which the whole cult is going into, the whole athletes are going into, more focus on aesthetics than on mass, to minimize the gut problems many athletes had in the past, to have a better light on bodybuilding, to appeal to people, because those guys are so fatless. And when they're having that distended gut, for an outstanding guy, it looks like he's a fat guy, even though he has like 3-4% body fat, and it's completely water-free too. That's crazy. But let's speak about the contest. I think one of the major points why the Arnold Classic is a trigger point in the whole bodybuilding industry, and it is a innovative contest which has lots of effect on the whole scene. You have like a domino effect because of Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. He not only was the 7 times Mr. Olympia, but he is also an action hero, a politician, a businessman, entrepreneur, writer. The list goes on. And when he says something, not only us guys from the bodybuilding industry report about that, but if it's something severe, lots of people will report about that. And also more mainstream outlets that normally don't report that much on bodybuilding, or if they do it at all. So when Arnold says something and it gets millions of views on YouTube, Facebook, and whole social media world, of course people are aware of that, and that's why it seems like the sport is going in a different direction. I was always thinking, hey guys, when you see guys like extreme heavy guys like Big Ramy or Kai Green, and more his massive versions, in 10 years, 20 years, how it could still evolve without that gut sticking extremely out, and that's why I think they had to do a stop, because the mass was so maximized at a unwanting level of costs. So I would say it's a good fix. Let's see how it evolves. I know there are hardcore fans who love the Marcus Rules, the Greg Kovacs and everything. They don't like that. They want extremely massive guys. But I say it's more than that. That's my opinion. You don't have to share that with me. If you do, fine. If not, fine too. Let's talk about the Arnolds. Of course, the Arnold Sports Festival.com. Maybe I'll put the link into the description, because that's directly from the page right now. Has some information about the contest and their athletes. Like I said in a prior video, there won't be a 212 division, only open division. And William Bonig won it last year. So before continuing on the Arnold side, I want to quickly jump into an Excel sheet I did just before recording this video, because I was like, hey, let's see what is the average age of the Arnold Classic competitors, and you will see extreme differences in the average ages. And later on I will talk about who that guy is. Sorry. Okay. Let's start. So, before talking about 2019, let's talk about 2018. What is the huge major difference? Who is missing? It's Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson got the disappointing placement last year at the Mr. Olympia, and I was like, okay, and lots of people were like that. Will he really continue after that, or is it finally time to step away from a stage? Because he is 49, and I think in November this year he will get 50. And he's competing in men's open division, the most extreme top level division in professional bodybuilding in the whole world. What an achievement and accomplishment. And it seems like he wants to continue, and he is fired up all again, even more after that disappointing placement. So he's not at the Arnold's because he wants to quit, but because he wants to completely focus on the Olympia. And yeah, he doesn't have to do any contest because he's a former Mr. Olympia. He doesn't have to qualify ever in his life again. So let's see what Dexter will do later on. But we'll talk about the Arnold. So let's step away from Dexter. But with Dexter, the whole top 6 of last year had the average age of 40, I would say. That's the exact average age. And if you round it up, it's 40. And this year it's a little younger, 2.5 years younger, 37.5, because Dexter is not there. And I would say probably Brandon Curry will be in that top 6 instead of Dexter or any other guy of last year's top 6. Brandon Curry, great athlete, and is fitting extremely well in the division. And if you want to check the rest of the list, the average age of the whole Arnold Classic competitors is 35. Mainly because of very young guys in terms of pro bodybuilding, Michael Wallenkin and Akeem Williams, and Rafael Brandao and Luke Sando. Probably you don't know who Mikhail is, and Mikhail was the overall winner of the amateur Arnold Classic, and all the amateur overall winners of the Arnold Classic are qualified for the next year's Arnold's open division. So he wanted to do that. He is pretty light. Him competing in the open division, I don't see he will see any light. He's pretty light and he won't see any light, I would say. Not disrespecting him, I think he will get dead last. You could say the older the guys, the better. It's not exactly that way because William won it last year. And if you just go by last year's sheet and you replace Dexter with Brandon, it's not the exact order you could have, but you have those guys. Very, very likely you have those guys in that top 6. And like I promised, I'll do many more videos of the Arnolds. The weekend of the Arnolds is first weekend of March, I think. The 1st and 2nd of March. And the 1st March is the day where I write my last exam of this winter semester, 2018-2019. So I will be full headed to the Arnolds. At least virtually, of course. I'm not at Columbus. Definitely, I would love to do that one day in my life. Let's see how things evolve. But I want to say that I will have time, so when the live stream is happening, I start a discussion round on YouTube. So you can watch the stream with your tablet, with your television, with your laptop, computer, and with your phone you can just chat there. I sometimes do some posts, and at those posts you can just comment like you would do on Facebook. You nowadays can that on YouTube, even smaller channels like mine. So I would say that is a good idea to do something, and I'll definitely be up there. And maybe I'll think about, if you have any other impressions and things I could do instead of that, write it. Feel free, write anything into the comments. I hope I'll see some of you guys. But that was my first impression. I think this video really was only for a first impression of the Arnold Classics, and will be interesting. Lionel will be, you have some guys who really are very, very classy, but can't nail it, like Lionel and Cedric. I think Brandon will nail it. So he is a guy for the very, very top. So this is not my top 6 prediction, but guys who probably will be in the top 6 without any exact order. I'll do a top 6 prediction soon. Joshua Lenartowicz will compete this year after doing an off year the whole last year. That will be very interesting, but I don't think he will have much chance to be top 6. Maybe he can step into the top 6, because let's say Lionel is not enough in shape, which could very, very likely be the case. So Joshua could very, very possibly be a candidate for the top 6 division, but nothing. I think he won't see top 3, but he could replace guys like Steve Kuklo and Lionel Wayeki. So let's say those guys are falling off. Joshua could be 4th place, which is a great accomplishment. He could be 5th or 6th too. Other than that, let's see how Luke Sando would look like, but I would say the top 6 will be something around those guys plus Joshua Lenartowicz. Charles Dixon, I don't know. He normally is a guy for the for the 212 division. We don't have a 212 division this year, so that's something else. Akeem Williams will be hard to have that incredible, improvements to step in. We'll see. But like I said, I'll do a closer video. I'll do different kind of video for the Arnolds. Keep up. Have to go to bed now. I wish you a great weekend or whatever is left. Bye. And subscribe, of course.